All right, hello. There been a little while. I've been dealing with a cold and just been kind of down lately on that. So I'm feeling a little bit better, and I got to get to work. But I want to show a quick little thing here, a couple different things here. So check this out. First of all, state charts keys out 15. Anybody playing online? North Carolina 2. Look at that. That 2 is not going to last long at all. All right, guaranteed that 2 is not going to last long. It's out 15. Mine hit today. It's definitely a pool to fish from. Okay, out 15. That's a nice pool to fish from. You know, you could do all numbers boxed over here in the slasher. Go to keys, add the key, and then add 2 because that's the one you think's gonna jump today, and you're down to 55 numbers already. You know, and if you don't get the win, just stick with it because it's going to hit. Now you're gonna fish out of this pool. So how do you start fishing out of this pool? Well, first of all, lots of different things I like to do, but I'm going to jump over to the inspect folder I have, and I'm going to look at digit filters by key. VTracks. Check this out. VTrack 2 symbolizes a 1 or a 6. And you're going to notice that it's been out 5 draws. And you're going to notice it's been out 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 1. It doesn't stay out long typically. There's 5 there, there's 5 there, there's 5 there. So it's going to be hitting here soon. So is that a risk you want to take? I think it's a good risk to take that there's going to be today a 1 or a 6, and hopefully it comes with that too. So you're going to drop in another set of keys and you're going to do a 1 or a 6. It can be one or the other. Now you're down to 19 numbers. See that? 19 numbers boxed. But now I want to show you something else. This is something new, and I've been working on this, but at the same time it's new, and I want to say that I still in the learning process of it, and I'm excited about it. And let me just show it to you. So first of all, when you go to the main page, the Derek Project, you're going to see that the SG box and the SG box pairs, right? So we're just looking at those right now. Or you can call them we call them the SBP, and then the SBPP pair is same thing. Okay. So if you hear me say that, that's what I'm talking about. First of all, I want to say this. Check this out here in North Carolina. This is combined. You're going to see that there's a yellow. Yellow has been out on the AC now for quite some time. And what's cool about that is, look at this. The yellow likes to drop in there. Everything, just balancing everything. You see that, except for, let's see. That was a little bit more of a jump. Okay, but it's kind of looks like it's out of the norm. That yellow definitely hits in there pretty often. So that yellow is definitely due. And, I'm already, now here's the thing, people point out to me, and I try to definitely take that advice because I do too many filtering. I do too much filtering, and we're already doing key 2, which already brought me down to 55, but that's my main pool. Now the filtering begins, and I'm doing the 1 or a 6. So that's already a very big filter. There has to be a 1 or a 6 today in order for me to win. Okay. Now, if I start jumping around on these patterns, I can really filter out the winner really fast. So it's like, is a yellow worth the jump? It's been out for a while, but is it worth the jump? I'm not really sure if it is. I would say, just for me, I would say I'm going to take that jump because it's definitely due. But okay, you can look at these two, like here, you can jump over to this here, the pair pattern for North Carolina for the frequency chart. The SBP and SBPP thing is not in here right now. I don't know if he'll be able to put that in here. If he can, that'd be cool because then we'll be able to actually look and see which ones are due, which I haven't even shown you yet, but I'm going to show you in a minute. So check this out. So see, 7 is due right now. Here, let's go to the actual AC. Pairs AC. Now, here you go. Here are the yellow. Here are the outstandings. These are the zeros, okay? These are the zeros that are going to turn to a 1, okay? And at 10 days right now, there's been lots of 2s. They've been lots of repeats. So there's going to be another 1 dropping in here. Maybe today there'll be a 1 dropped in, okay? So what I'm saying is you don't necessarily have to go, here, go to the information page. This is the information page. You don't necessarily have to go and be like, all right, I think it's going to be yellow. I'm going to play 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're going to play them all. Okay. I'm going to play them all. Well, you can do that. And see, I already set it up over here to show you. I got 2 different ones going here. I did the AC box yellow. These are all the yellows. Okay. for the pair. Now remember, when you do this, you have to have this all numbers, add all numbers. You can't do add all numbers box, because this here, these numbers, I keep repeating it, but it's so important, are based off of the actual straight. They're not based off of the box number. So even though this is box pairs, these are based off of this. They're not based off of this. Okay. That's very important, because see, this is 3-9, this is 3-8. But look at the 14. The 14, if you go over to the pattern page, 14 is 3-9. It's not 3-8. So you got to remember that. So that has to be add all numbers, not add all numbers boxed. But then you can add in the AC, and then you add this in box, though, unless you're going to go and switch them to conversion tool. Otherwise, you just throw them in their box, because now it's going to give you the 0-3 or the 3-0, you know, and all that fun stuff. So let's see. I think it does better. I'm looking at it right now. I'm thinking, where's like a 0-3? I don't even see a 0-3 in there. Well, that's maybe because I got the 2. Well, here, that's 7-9. Like, look at the 7-9. Look at the 1-7. So here you got 1-7. Yeah, see 7-1. See that? Just to make sure that I'm doing it right, because I do screw up a lot, and I don't want to screw up and tell somebody else, join in with me screwing up. So if I do something wrong, please comment. Okay. And then, so I did keys 2 and 1 and 6. And now we're looking at 42 straights, or 19 numbers boxed. That's if I do the AC yellow. Like if I think the AC yellow is going to drop today on this chart here. And it's likely. But now, see, like I said, instead of playing all yellows, you can jump back over here and be like, well, let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You got 11, 13, 14, 15. So it gets rid of 12, It gets rid of 12 at least. So now you could get rid of 12. So you could go over to the chart here and go ahead and take this one and get rid of that one. Or you could just go in here and get rid of it like that. But whatever. I don't feel like trying to figure out exactly which one it was. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to do pairs AC boxed. But I'm actually I screwed up. I got to do unselect. Unselect these ones. 12, pattern 12. Now we're at 36 straights. So if you think, like I said, if you think a 0 is going to turn to a 1, which is these patterns for the AC, okay, boxed pair patterns, you go to most recent draws. I'm at 10 days. And if you think that one of these is going to turn to 1, it has to be one of these patterns, 100%. If a 0 turns to 1, which is these, minus the 12, because the 12 is not in those. So that would give you this if these hit, right? So that's what I got for North Carolina today. But now I'm going to show you something new. That's pretty cool that I'm still, now let me just show it to you. So here it is. This is called the root sums, SBPP. And it's a good idea from somebody. And it's just it's what it is it's the root sums in general. Like here's the root sums. Okay, here's the root sums based off, like here's the cut sums and root sums. But looking at just the root sums, like root sum 2, anybody who knows how to do root sums is based off of the actual number. Okay, the actual draw. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you take that 11 and you go, which is 11, and you take that and you split it and you add it together and it's 2. So that's the root sum. Well, it's the same thing, but it's different in the sense that this is based off of, okay, these. Don't look at this right now. Look at these, AB, BC, and AC. These are based off of the actual pattern numbers, okay? So this right here, so 5 and 2 and 1, 1, or 1, 6, and 3 and 5 and 6. These are actual root sums based off of this. Okay, not the actual draw. So that's important. So 4 plus 5, or 4 plus 1 is 5, right? And so it's a high odd root sum, basing it off of this. So remember these here. So here's your pattern numbers right there for the BC and AC. It's the same thing you're going to see over here on this page for the AB, the BC, and the AC. It's the same thing, but it adds another thing. It adds the actual root sums for those patterns. So you can, maybe grab something from that. And like, I'm new to it on here, so I'm excited to later on after work to try to break this down, see what I see and what works and what doesn't. And, like, first of all, just looking right away, you can see here, we're looking at the AC already. We're thinking that a yellow is going to drop. And now when you go over to this, you're going to see that the high odd is due. Okay. The high odd is due, and it hasn't hit in 15. And you can go down here and see how often it stays out. There's out 15 again, 12. So that's kind of like, okay, there's 18. So it could go out a little bit more, maybe. It can always go out even more than that, but I mean, it is what it is. You're just trying to get an idea. So if you think I already think it's going to be a yellow coming up, right? Might not be today, but this is another pool. Maybe, maybe looking at key 2 as a pool, maybe looking at the AC as a pool. Maybe I'm taking 2 pools and putting them together, and I'm already doing too much. But that's how I roll. So, I mean, you follow anything I'm doing, you're going to either sometimes win big and you're going to not lose big, because I don't really play a lot of numbers because I get it down low. But, when I do win it, a lot of times it makes up for all the losses over the last, a couple weeks or a month, So if you look at this, yeah, I'm thinking there's going to be a yellow AC, right? Because look at this. No yellow. Since last one was a 12, 14, 14, 14, 11. You can tell just by balance that the yellow's going to hit. All right. The yellow's going to hit. All right, fine. Right. Yellow's going to hit. But now I think it's only going to be a high odd. Perhaps I think it's going to finally be that high odd. All right. So what's the yellow? It's a 5. It's a 7. It's a 9. And then it is also a 5 in the purple. So 5, 5, 7, and 9. Okay. So you could just do those if you wanted to. And then you just look at the one associated with. So it's a 5 over here. Okay. A 9 in the blue. And then a 5, the 14. So, well, that would be the only yellow, right? So that would be the only yellow. So if you think it's going to be a yellow high odd, then their only option would be, as far as I'm looking at it here, I think just the 5. You wouldn't add the other colored ones in there because those are, yes, they're high odds, but they're not yellow. So let's just say it's going to be that one. Okay, gosh, that would be amazing, right? So then you would go over here and you would grab the 14, because that's what that is. It's a high odd. 4 plus 1. Remember, 4 is based on the pattern number. 4 plus 1 is 5. Copy that. Now I'm going to see if he can make it so that you can have all the high odds. This is all based on the pattern numbers. High odds, the low odds, the high evens and the low evens, based on the actual pattern numbers. So it'd be similar to this. You just go and grab and not have to pick each one of these. You know what I mean? So then you're going to come up here. Let's go over here and do this. Let's say, you know what? Today, gosh, I got too many tabs open. What am I doing? All right. AC boxed. Here, you want to take a look at that, take a picture of that, because there's a good chance that perhaps it's in there today. But we are going to remove these now because we think it's going to be only pattern 14. How lovely would that be? There you go. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? So there's some, if the yellow hits today and it's a high odd and a 2 is used and a 1 or a 6 is used, doesn't have to be both, just one of them. Okay. That would drop you in with these straights only, and that would be very nice. So maybe one of these straights will drop today in North Carolina, huh? So, but later I'll talk more about the new SBP system. Remember, it's based off of this here, the SG, which we call the SBP, and then this we call the SBPP. Okay, so it's based off of the pair patterns and the actual SG box, which I didn't even get to talk to about, because that's going to be, I think, you'd think that breaking it down by this is going to be the big thing, but I think it's going to be this, because there's 24 patterns in here. Okay. I was thinking about doing it for this, but I just feel like 20 is just not really even enough. 24 is barely enough. But I mean, if you look at the new system here, okay, and you look at, let's get away from the pair patterns for a second. Let's look at this. So you got 24, 14, 22. So it's giving you the same information on this page right here, but it takes it a step further and gives you the actual root sums based on the pattern number, not the draw. Remember that. If you want to do it based off the draw, I recommend having this filter open here, because this is going to give you cut sums and root sums based off the actual pattern. I mean, the actual draw number. So it's a little bit different, and I think, they all have their place. So this is, so like 24 is a part of the high even. Okay. And see, I think it'd be the same good thing to have these broken up too into sections of low even, low odd, high even, and high odd on the actual pattern page, because then you can just collect them, and just put them in a slasher instead of trying to go singly for each one of them. You know what I mean? So I think that's a cool option if that's possible. So, which obviously it is possible. If Mike would do that, I'll ask him. So that'd be nice. And it'd be easier for anybody doing this. So looking at this right away, it's like, I just don't have time. I want to look at this deeper. I want to break down which ones hit the most and all that stuff over, course of time. I don't know. This isn't in the actual system right now over here. Okay. Like I said, let's just change this. See, like over here, it's not, I don't see SBP and SBPP. I don't see that over here. Let me refresh it once. Let's see. That's not in there. I'll have to ask and see if that can be put in there. Then you can follow it just like we follow this stuff. This is the bread and butter, frequency and expectation chart. And I've been pointing out too, if you look at the North Carolina SBP, not the pair patterns, you're going to notice you got 60 draws for the expectation. You're going to notice these red ones, okay? And pointed out to me that if you check out the red ones, about 30 to 80 draws, okay? And you look at the red, and now go back to the 10-day, okay? Now I'm going to go over to the SBP, not the pair pattern, just the SBP, not the pairs. For 10 days, switch this from pair AC to numbers, okay? Now what I'm looking at is these yellows, okay? There's a good chance that one of these drop at the 10-day mark. There looks like there's a chance for a 2 to drop again, though. But let's just say one of these is going to drop. What you're going to do is you're going to compare this with the hot, okay? The hot numbers in that 30 to 80 draw mark, okay? For hot and warms. And what I'm looking at, what I noticed right away was the 19 and the 3. The 19 and the 3 are both in the yellows. So those might be a good option today, the 19 and the 3. So if you think it's just going to be a 19 and a 3 for the SBP, okay, check this out. Now you're going to go to this. So you're going to take just those ones. Okay, so let's just take the 3, for instance. Bring it over here. Let's see if this even does anything for us. We're going to put this in there as boxed, even though we're looking at straights right now. But you can put this in there as boxed because this is straight, okay? And now we're going to go back over there and gather the 19. And this is kind of risky here, but I'm just doing, and you know what? The only one that could possibly be is 269, because that's the one with a 2 in it. Because I said it has to have a 2 today. And that's not even in there anyway. But let's see, is there any in here that are even in here? So 017, nothing in there anyway. So it doesn't even. So yeah. So you would be doing too much. You have to pick what you want to do. You're going to either do the pair patterns or the pairs, or you can't do 3 or 4, 5, 6 things at a time. That's what I do. And I get it down there. And if I win, I win big. But if I lose, I just lose consistently for long periods of time. So, take what I do with a grain of salt and try to make it your own, because, we all have our own styles and our own ways. And my way is trying to get that sucker as low as I can. But I've been trying to do some new things about like micro filtering and bringing it down very conservatively. But I like what we did originally here. That 2 is going to be hitting. So let me go back and just get rid of this. But if I did think this was going to hit today, one of those, I think it'd be one of those ones, or that 269. So 125, 236, or 269. I think those are good options just to throw in the mix. I mean, it's only 3 numbers, and you do those ones boxed though. But so these ones, so plus the other 3 I just talked about. All right, so that's what I got for North Carolina. I could break it down by position and all that fun stuff, but I think I did enough. You can look at highs and lows to see what's due to, because I haven't even looked at any of that stuff, which a lot of times I look at. Not necessarily this one. I like to look at high low boxed. Like low is due. Let's see what's doing North Carolina midday. Ooh, high low. There you go. 2 highs and a low box. That'd be a good one. 2 highs and a low. Let's see what we got in there. 2 highs and a low. Got anything? No, we don't have anything for 2 highs. But do we have anything in the boxed form over here? 2 highs and low. Here we go. 2 highs and low. We got some 2 highs and a low right there. And there's that 269. There's that 269. So you could go, you can take that over to the 256 too. So there's some 2 highs and a low if you go just based off of this and not all my whole AC this and BC that. So, but I mean, just putting that into play, let's see. Go back over here. Now this, remember like I did, I said it's just going to be the high. But if we do, let's go back out of there. Now I'm interested in see what this will be. Let's go and grab all the yellows today. Let's grab all the yellows for North Carolina. And we're going to drop it in there as AC boxed. 2, a 1, or a 6. We unselected those AC ones. Now we're down to this many straights, 36 straights. And then we're going to do 2 highs and a low boxed. 2 highs and a low. Let's see what that would be. 14 straights. Okay. So now that would be based off of this one over here. What we got? Yeah. And these ones actually are straights. So these are straights. So you can look at what's due on the front. So what is due on the front in North Carolina right now? Let's do combined and then go to A position. 7 and 2 are the top dogs that are due. You can check the midday, see what that's showing. 4 and 3. So what about 2, 3, 4, or 7? 2, 3, 4, or 7. You got 2, 4. There's no 4. There's no 3. So there's no 7. So maybe here you go. Maybe one of these straights right there. All right, I am done. I'll talk more about the pair pattern stuff later, and I'm pretty excited about it, and hopefully it will be useful, breaking this down by pair patterns and just creating little pools that you fish from, not doing them all, but, picking from here and there. This is just North Carolina. You start jumping around like here, like Minnesota is where I really like to focus sometimes here. And look at AB, no yellow in the AB for a while, but also look at this tells you that yellow doesn't like to hit so much maybe on there, than it does. So a lot to learn. And I'll be honest when I see stuff and when I don't see stuff. So I'm excited to just try to get something. Here we go. BC, 3 blue. Probably won't be another blue today. Things like that. So this is from Minnesota, but I'm going to end it right here. So these are the boxed numbers for North Carolina today, I'm thinking. Or if you want to do the straight numbers and with the high, low option. Okay. So, all right. Have a good day.